Good evening, friends. It's Anna, and I'm here with an empties. Yes, I know you can't believe it's only been a week, and I'm already back. It's a very small empties this week, but I am determined that I'm going to consistently do these. If I've emptied anything in the week, you're going to hear about it in a weekly empties. For two reasons. Number one, I need to celebrate every empty and every win that I have in my collection. Number two, my family needs to consistently see the empties in the trash, or they're not going to believe that I'm using my wax, and my waxes, a lot of it's going to have to go away. My mom's being really weird about it. So, I am going to show you a very small empties, but it is important that we do go over what I've used since we last chatted. And again, if I empty a single thing in a week, you're going to hear about it, even if it is just one tester, which is not the case this week, but there may be some weeks where literally it's just a handful of, maybe it is just one or two testers is all I actually empty. But you're going to hear about everything because I need to make a point to put them in the trash and let them see that things are consistently being used. So in the bathroom, tester-wise this week, I used apple and cinnamon sticks. Now, that is the only tester I've used this week. But that is not the only thing I've warmed in the bathroom. I have warmed other things. I have a couple other things that are just one melt away from being done. And also fragrance, but in a different category. I've emptied up my tube of Twisted Peppermint Sparkling Snowflake Scrub, which is a sugar scrub, a holiday sugar scrub. You do see it's very yellow in there. They've not had the sugar scrub for this in 2 years. But it is, so this was a partial tube that I had at the beginning of the season that was 2+ years old. It is used up. Like, I took the lid off and actually ran water in the hole to get more of it out, but it's just stained that tubing yellow. But Twisted Peppermint, if you know the scent, you know the scent. This is my Christmas and holiday time body care scent, candle scent, like everything scent for Twisted Peppermint for this time of year. From Thanksgiving week to the end of January, this is all I use. I'm very sad that this is the last that I have of this, and it's gone. Because like I said, they've not had this in 2 years, and I love sugar scrubs, but that is emptied up. I've also, this week, I've emptied up a scent shot that Jeannie Farley had sent me. You'll see her initials. I know it's backwards for you, but you'll see her initials there on the cup, because I wanted to make sure that I knew who sent me this. This was a scent shot from Candles by Victoria in Peppermint Patty. Once again, Jeannie is my peppermint loving twin. She was my Advent swap partner. She knows me so well. Most of the things that she sent me had some kind of mint in them. I used a quarter of this scent shot the day I was supposed to use it for the Advent. The other 3/4 of the scent shot I have used since then. This is used up. This was only 2 ounces, so again, it's not a lot. But I celebrate every win. And this is emptied and out of the house. The only other wax that I have that I've emptied this week is actually one that I just emptied today. This is a sample that was from the Melt Stash, which I have never purchased from the Melt Stash. I've never had anything from the Melt Stash, to my knowledge, except for, and I might have other things in some like round robin pulls and friend mail swaps that I just don't remember that they're from the Melt Stash, and I will see the label and recognize it. But this was a sample piece This was sent to me by Melissa Ferguson. I know that my Sharpie was running. You can't read it, but I put her initials are there on the corner of the bag, because that's what I try to do to make sure I know who sent me what. Sometimes I'm probably gonna put the wrong initials on something or say the wrong name, but I try really hard to know who sent me what. Like I said, this was a sample piece from the Melt Stash, and I, again, had never had the Melt Stash. I took this with me today to my grandparents' house. We went and spent the majority of the day at their house. We had a couple of projects to help them with, and then we just spent the day hanging out because, yes, we were there Christmas Eve, but some people were sick. There was a lot going on. We wanted some time to just enjoy them. So we went over there today, and my grandma has a warmer, and she has some wax, but she does not really have any wax that is good for this time of year. So I took this piece over to her house, and we used it there, because that served a double purpose. Number one, I got to enjoy the scent for the majority of the day because I was there with her, and I was able to give her something that was appropriate for the time of year. This is called Henna by the Melt Stash, and it is blue sugar type tea and cakes and buttercream. If you know me, you know one of mine and Rita's favorite oils, and so special and so meaningful to us, is the tea and cakes oil. I was blown away by the amount of tea and cakes that Melissa knew to send me when she sent me that box back in September. Y'all, I still cry. It's just mind-blowing. But this was 0.6 of an ounce. Typically, I don't put any more than half an ounce in a warmer, but I can't gauge what 1/10 of an ounce is, so I just told Grandma to just put this whole little cube in her warmer, and it was beautiful. It melted down in about 10 minutes, and filled the entire, her kitchen and living room is an open, there is a wall, but not a door between her kitchen and living room, and it was so pretty. It filled the entire kitchen and living room area at a relatively strong level all day. We got there about 10 o'clock this morning, and by 10:30 I had it in her warmer. We were smelling it at full, I would say at full throw by 11 o'clock. So that's for a first experience with the Melt Stash. I'm realizing you can't even see this. For a first experience with the Melt Stash, I was really impressed. I don't know, like I said, I don't know if I have any more of theirs. But then again, this was just a little empty that I'm super proud of. Now, I do have a couple of non-wax, a couple more non-wax things. Yes, I know this was non-wax, but it was with my bathroom melt, so I was talking about it then. I have my requisite cotton cleanup of the week. You guys, I only have about 25 left to get me through to the beginning of March, which means that there will be a period that you see less Bender Wax and more Scentsy Wax, because I do not use the cotton cleanups with Scentsy Wax. So when I run out of cotton cleanups, you'll know it, because you'll start seeing all Scentsy Wax. And then I have 2 wallflowers. One was in Twisted Peppermint, and it was replaced with Twisted Peppermint. The other one was actually the last of my Sweet Cinnamon Pumpkin wallflowers that it took forever. It took to literally, Christmas Eve to be ready to be changed. I changed it out to Twisted Peppermint. So those 2 wallflowers, and by now, if you've been on my channel at all, you know what I do with the wallflowers. When they get low, because Bath and Body tells you not to let them die, go all the way dry. When they get low, I pull the wicks out. I pour the oil into my diffuser. I've used both of these up that way. So proud. Again, it's just a handful of things, but I'm so proud of all these empties. And like I said, even if it's just one or two things, you're going to see an empties every week. That way I can get things in the trash every week, and my family can see exactly what I'm using on a regular basis. I'm going to say it again. Happy New Year to everyone. I hope you've had a great start to your year. It's hard to believe we're already 3 days into 2026. I'm already saying, where's the time going? Thank you for being here, for sticking with me, for dealing with the inconsistency that was 2025. I will say there will be a couple of weeks that you will not get an empties, because I already know of trips I have planned. One is actually the end of February into the beginning of March. So I will remind you again as that gets closer. The other one that I know of right now is not till September. To my knowledge, those should be the only weeks that you do not get an empties this week. Or this year, excuse me. My plan is to be much more consistent on this channel. Again, even if it is tiny but mighty empties. And until I see you again, my friends, please remember that I love you. And please, have a blessed day on purpose. And